honorable members of the Council of State, honorable members, ministers of state, and parliamentarians, His Grace, the Imam, the Chief Imam, His Eminence, President of the National Council of Muslim Chiefs, the Emirs of Ghana and Nigeria, Your Excellencies, members of the diplomatic corps, respected chiefs, learned imams, and other religious leaders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen in Islam, in the name of Allah, the most gracious and merciful, Assalamu alaikum. I'm extremely happy to be with you today to participate in this historic inauguration of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association of Ghana, especially as every time I'm invited to the Ghana Muslim Women's Association, I'm either somewhere else in the country or somewhere outside the country. Invariably, I'm out of Accra. So I was really excited when I saw Hajia Katumi, and she asked me to come and do this. I asked her the date and found out it was not going to conflict with any time that I'll be out of Accra. I thank Allah for that. I must also confess that my inclination to accept your invitation was because I saw in it yet another opportunity to be with my sisters so that we can continue talking about our many intractable problems and recommit ourselves to do something positive about them as women. I'm referring, of course, to several issues. One of them is the raising of our children, their education and their well-being. The empowerment of women is another. Our participation in decision-making is another. Excuse me. And particularly in the economic activities, income-generating activities that draw us into the mainstream of society. Madam Chairperson, I know that these are issues that are very relevant to and appropriate also for Muslim women to concern yourselves with. For example, the picture that was painted by the other speakers about the educational situation of the Muslim girl child is not the best. At the senior secondary school, the numbers dropped even more to an unacceptable low level. When it comes to the tertiary educational level, or other professions, the situation is also very deplorable. I'm not saying that there are no educated or highly educated Muslim women, but like the professor said, if we look at the sheer numbers of Muslims in Ghana, and we compare it to the numbers that have actually gone through, then we'll see that the ratio is just too bad. It's tipping towards the negative, and we have to re-tip it towards the positive so that we can get a clear balance or move the positive higher up. A good point, therefore, to start this dialogue, Madam Chairperson, and interaction as women coming together to do something for our society and ourselves is with the education of our children, but especially of the Muslim girl child. The male children are also important, but for the moment, let me concentrate on the girl child. because there's a major national campaign to raise the enrollment level of the girl child in all our schools. Muslim women should therefore take up this issue and be in the forefront in the effort to get the Muslim child educated. There are many reasons why we should do this, and why this issue should also receive our priority. And let me just mention a few of them. Research has shown that women who have been to school are more likely to educate their children too, because they'll see the importance of education. These women tend to have fewer children and can therefore look after them better, and their children grow up to be better children also. They are likely to earn more income and have better socio-economic opportunities. These women have also a higher probability of participating in decision-making, as we have seen from Hajia Ayesha Lami, our chairperson, the other ladies here, and many of you who have had education or taken your education seriously. The woman is more confident when she's educated, because you can actually analyze situations and take advantage of those analyses to benefit you. Society is better off when we send the girl child to school. But we as individuals or as parents are also securing our future if we send our children to school, because then they will not become a burden on us. If we give the children the opportunity to prepare themselves for the future, they will not only be in a position to take care of themselves, but we will also have put them in a position to look after us when our teeth are falling out, when we are old. Aims and objectives. I notice your Federation has very good and noble objectives. And I have no doubt that if you work diligently to realize these noble objectives that you have set yourselves, you greatly enhance the image of the Muslim woman, not only in your individual homes, not only in your communities, but in this country as well. Madam Chairperson, rather than reinforcing our differences and divisions, this Federation has chosen the high path of directing their energies to the task of initiating positive measures that will ultimately improve upon the spiritual and material well-being of our people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we of the 31st December Women's Movement have always appreciated the tremendous potential of the Ghanaian woman, the sheer capability and fortitude of every Ghanaian woman. Historically, our women have not attained their full potential on account of certain societal, sometimes religious, and cultural reasons that are now very well known to us. But even these formidable factors had not stopped us from making our contribution to the development of this country in our own way. Many women have single-handedly struggled, really struggled, to raise their children, putting them in school while trading or doing some other economic activity to keep the family going and keep the family unit together. All of you gathered here today, I'm sure, have a lot of stories to tell. You have not tried to be just heroes. You have simply tried to make a living, yet the odds, as you know, you and I know, are quite great against us. The movement has also sought over the years to provide a vehicle for bringing women together, to collectively address the issues impeding our advancement. Like the lady said, we are not talking about women's liberation of Europe. We are not talking about how the men should stay in the kitchens and cook while we rest under trees. We are not talking about going to sit at patrol bars and drinking while the men are taking care of their children. These are not the issues we are talking about. We are talking about empowering women to contribute to society, to contribute to their homes and their communities. Indeed, we are talking about the advancement of women. The basic philosophy that has guided our work is that collectively, working together, we can do so much more. And that is the message that the Federation is bringing on today. We have mobilized our women to educate them, to provide them guidance and belief in themselves. I know a lot of the Muslim women are either members of the movement or have worked with the 31st in one capacity or another. We have built or established daycare centers. And one area that we really struggled to put a daycare center was in Lima. This Lima daycare center was to help parents and their children at the same time. We thought about this project really with the idea to break the cycle of poverty. And we asked ourselves, if we are organizing women, asking them to get into economic activity, talking to them about education, and they don't send their children to school, how do we break the cycle of poverty? That was the first question. The second question was, I don't want answers like the professor, he's a lecturer. Our second question was posed to us by the Muslim women who were in Lima, who were members of the movement. They wanted to know why their children were not getting jobs in the formal sector. And it was pretty obvious that it was a lack of education in the formal sector. That's why the professor, the doctor is telling us that going to Makranta alone is not enough. But we had a lot of resistance in Lima. How were we able to break this? We spoke to the women with the Saudi Arabian ambassador's wife at the time. And we made her tell our women that the only way to break poverty is to educate yourself. And she told our Muslim women that we had organized that in Saudi Arabia, everybody goes to formal schooling. They go for formal education. She also told them that the princes and princesses of the king and other royal family don't even leave their children in Saudi Arabia to go to school. They take them to Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, and other places to go and have education. So if education, formal education, were not important, they wouldn't take their children all the way to America and to Europe to go and study. She gave us a message. And as soon as she did this, our Muslim sisters accepted it and said, we are going to work with you and get this daycare center established. So as Hajia said, we also told them, you know the best time to talk into your husband's ears. So we leave the job to you. And I think 2 years it took us to be able to break through. And the imams and all the religious people accepted that we could build the school there and have a formal education for the children. That is one sure way of breaking a cycle of poverty. Now, once we were able to do that, of course, we had to promise them that we will have religious teachings for the children. But we said we will put that one into their hands because that is their responsibility. And after, I think 2 years, they didn't even ask us about it anymore. They were more interested in the development and the progress that the children were making. Assalamu alaikum. Their future survival. And today, we are very, very happy that we have this program in Nima. Because of that, we are also starting a vocational school. We have built about half of it, and we are going to build the other half. So that those who dropped out halfway, we can teach them a skill. It is the only way that we can help push our communities up and break the cycle of poverty and be part of the mainstream, as the professor was saying. I believe that FOMWAG is uniquely placed to assist a sizable community of Muslim women to improve their lives. The Federation must find ways of marrying the requirements of normal Islamic teaching with the equally vital need for functional education. The problems of the girl child, female genital mutilation, early childhood marriage remain the most topical and burning issues of our time. There can be no compromise on the social agenda which the Federation intends to pursue. We must recognize these problems for what they are. We know that so much pain continues to be inflicted on many innocent people just because they are women, for the sake of being born a female. But I'm very sure that we all believe in the message of love, in the message of freedom, in the message of dignity, which lie at the heart of Islam. Yes. Madam Chairperson, Islam does not discriminate against women. The Quran, the Holy Quran, in the Holy Quran itself, you can see clearly how the religion supports the position of women. I think that if we were to go strictly by what Muhammad has put into the Quran, we will realize that the Quran indeed supports women to such an extent that we should be flying high and breathing fresh air every day. But it is the way that sometimes we translate the Quran, or maybe how we implement what is in the Quran, that creates the problem. But the Quran itself supports women totally and wholly. So we should read the Quran and follow the Quran. Because if we follow the Quran, we will realize that women are actually lifted in the image of mankind. I certainly applaud your coming together to forge unity of purpose and unity of action in this federation. Together, you can do so much, and you will succeed. You really will succeed with determination and commitment. Because when women have an objective, they don't cut corners. They go straight to the objective. We are not distracted. Muslim women come from different parts of this country and have different backgrounds. But if you put your energies, your experiences, and your resources together, you will become a formidable force to address your common concerns and problems. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, our country has been blessed with religious tolerance. I've made my pages up, excuse me. Muslims respect Christians, and Christians respect Muslims. Christians and Muslims live in peace with each other, and we should be proud about this and ensure that it is maintained. The question then is, if Muslims and Christians can live together in peace, why can't Muslims from various sects? We can't live together in peace. We can't. Even if we have some differences of interpretation regarding what the practices of Islam should be, the interpretations cannot deviate from what the Holy Quran itself says. So our objective, I want to add my voice to my sister Katumi's. If it means all the women here should kneel down, we will do that. But I think the best thing for us to do is to come together, forge a strong, united front, and just have a word with our men. The way that Katumi is saying, the way that the other speakers have said, and the way that the chairperson has reiterated, I'm sure that together we'll be able to work on this movement. Sisters and friends, it is necessary for all of us to recognize that in a modern society, tolerance, understanding, respect for the rights of others is really the path to a peaceful coexistence. Because like she said, we don't have enough schools, we don't have enough hospitals, the roads are not completed, they are not all good, and in certain areas, the facilities are much, much lower than other areas, especially where we are trying to build a new capital, a new region like WA and the other areas. So we should not spend a lot of our resources, or most of it, in maintaining law and order. Because we need these resources to send drinking water to all the villages, to send good hospitals or clinics, to give decent shelter to people in those areas. So we cannot afford to move away from our peaceful situation. As women, we are peacemakers, and so we should get our loins and work towards a peaceful solution. Madam Chairperson, I'm very confident that FOMWAG will tackle, or at least help tackle, the problems of religious intolerance as one of its top priorities next to the girl child education. Because without peace, not even education can move forward. Katumi, Hajia Katumi, you can count on my support and other people's support. Whatever initiatives the FOMWAG considers necessary to get rid of any negative intolerance from the society. In saying this, Madam, I also wish to reaffirm my unshakable faith in the role of women as peacemakers. I know that we can do it. Together we can sustain, defend peace and stability, which we have been enjoying for some time. Madam Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I take my seat, please allow me to commend the interim executive, the Amira of the Federation and the executives, who organized all the women's branches and made this ceremony possible. Their job has not been easy, I know it myself. It's not easy at all organizing people. But they have accomplished it with admiration, and we should really applaud them. Since I'm not going to translate any part of my speech into Hausa, I'll just say Mungodu. To all those who have come from far and near, be it in our country or outside our country, my sincere congratulations to all of you. The time you have devoted to participate in this ceremony and to work in the Federation, I am sure all that time will not be in vain. There is always strength in unity. So please let us persevere. Don't give up. Let us give support to the leadership, because the leadership is nobody without supporters. You are the organization. You have nominated them. You have elected them. So you must support them so that they can do the work for you and for us as a nation, as Ghanaian women. They will do that for us, and then we can see a change in our lives. Finally, I would like to add my voice to all the speakers that there is, of course, a happy coincidence between the Christmas season and the Ramadan season this year, as the other speakers have said. And I would also like to wish each and every one of you and your families all the best during this truly holy season. And may you all have a happy, productive, and reflective, successful year in 1998. Madam Chairperson, on behalf of the 33rd December Women's Movement, on behalf of the rest of the Ghanaian women, I wish to congratulate the Federation of Muslim Women's Association of Ghana on this bold initiative, and to thank our Nigerian sisters for coming to introduce it to us. Because like I said, in unity, there's always strength. I'm glad that you've been able to bring yourselves together today, and I believe that we are united in our determination to uplift, empower, and emancipate the women of this country. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the First Lady. We wish to translate into Hausa for the benefit of our Hausa speaking people, so that
yakan zo ya dace da lokacin kila tana da za ta yi tafiya ko kuwa ba tafiya. Shi yasa a lokacin da Hajiya Kutumi ta kawo mata wasikan gayyata da ta duba datin da aka bata, wato sai ta yi murna kamar za ta samu zuwa ta zo ta zauna da mu. Bayan haka nan, uwar gidan shugaban kasa ta yi zantuttuka da yawa, wato zancen da ta yi da ta kuma karfafa shine batun ba diya ilimi, wanda kuma ta fi karfafawa ne batun ba iya mata ilimi. Ta ce da ta dubi, wato ce ta gani kamar diya musulmai mata, wato iliminsu bai da yawa kuma ba shi da karfi. Ta ce so da yawa idan aka sa yara su na farko, akan samu yara mata da yawa a cikin su, amma kafin a ce za a kai mai shi zai gama ilimin primary, sai kaga ko kuwa kafin ya kai junior secondary school, sai kaga yawan yaran da aka sa school suna raguwa. To wannan ke nuna rashin karfi. balle ma haka mai shi ya ce zai kai sss she ka ga wato adadin yawan da ya ragu yana yawa ya ce yin haka ke sa wato ba mu da iya musulmai da yawa a makarantu kamar tasha wanda ya kamata lura da ke za a yi da ke kan wasu abubuwa shi ne ta nuna cewa wato mata da ke zuwa tsakanin mai ba su da yawa sa'annan kuma ba su ilimi yadda kuma yakan sa idan wani abu da shi wato da gida a gefe gida wadanda za mu na cewa wato kasar na kasar da samu ci gaba yadda inda kuma ta kuma yi game da matsayin wato kungiyar kowa cewa idan za a samu kuɗa tsakanin matsayin kungiyar kowa da kuma kungiyar digital wato za a samu zumunci karfi da kuma za a tafiye da aiki yadda ya kamata. Za mu mai batu game da yadda ya kamata wato mu rinka kulawa da abubuwa. Sai a wannan lokaci da ake yi break ko kan gaban da kamar yadda sauran mutane su ne ta nuna cewa ya kamata a samu na lafiya a ta ke shekara yin kusurai akwai wanda ya yi kama kuma ta nuna cewa ya kama da yawa su ne ya zo ya yi magana ba a to ba shi garka da ya ci ne magana kan samu magana ya kamata mu lura da wannan magana kuma su na kai sai yadda za mu yi a samu a tabbatar da zama lafiya tsakanin musulmi da musulmi tsakanin musulmi da kuma ɗan kirista sa'annan kuma a ƙarshe kuma ta nuna cewa fata na gari fatan da kuma yi magana dai ta dai karfafa mutu akan ba diya mata ilimi da kuma samun zaman lafiya tsakanin musulmi da musulmi da kuma tsakanin musulmi da 'yan krista kuma ya kamata mu mata abubuwan da ke gudana tsakanin mazajenmu mu duba mu yin mazajenmu magana a cikin taushin harshe yadda za mu samu wanga fada-fada da ake yi a bashi domin so da yawa an fada ya zo mu mata a ƙarshen shi muke wani cuta ne ko wani abu wato mata su ake cuta shi sa a nan sai a wannan don abubuwa da yawa da assalamu alaikum